back for another episode of Real Fake Guns. Today I have Boss Bill Doctor's grandson here. Welcome back for another episode of Real Fake Guns. Today we're going to do an unboxing video of the Northeast Airsoft Uzi. I'm very excited, and I also have a special guest, my good friend Magnus Glenning.
Yes, yeah? That's correct.
Yeah, you're a reenactor.
Yes, I am a collector and a reenactor and apparently a Solid Snake cosplayer as well.
Yeah, I dressed him up in my McVisog gear for this episode, so don't judge him for the full beard. It was improv.
Yeah. I don't dress like this casually from day to day, or do I? Anyway, I'm gonna provide some kind of historical and like gear nerd and reenactor input.
Yeah, you have some gear with you.
Yeah.
To check
I have
out
some
later.
gear with me as well.
That suit with the Northeast Airsoft Uzi. And I'm super excited about this release. It's the first full steel receiver gas blowback Uzi to be released in full size. So I've waited a long time for this. So I thought maybe Jim, you can bring us the Uzi.
Sure thing, mate.
Yes. I'm so excited to do this unboxing. I've been waiting all week.
Here it is, guys.
And yeah.
Finally!
Yeah.
Uzi water sound pistol.
It's the Uzi from Airheads, I think.
I just feel a little goofy with a water pistol.
They don't know it's a water pistol, they think it's real.
Oops.
I have a question though. Which word do you emphasize? Uzi, water, sound, or pistol?
Great for children is what I'm thinking about. Close, but not a cigar.
No.
Can you give me the other Uzi?
Here you go, man.
The Colt Uzi, used by the DEA. It's the Colt answer of, Mom, can I have an MP5? No, we have an MP5 at home.
Yeah, with the 9mm instead of.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. I'm still doing some real parts. It's a PTW. That's not the right one. Can you give me the right Uzi? Can you give me the Northeast Airsoft Uzi? Oh, Jim, why?
You mean this?
Yes, here it is.
Everything.
Wow, it's a heavy box.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh, Duma!
Nice, pretty heavy.
Yeah, and this is the German version. I'm not good at German, but you reenact German stuff.
I did reenact German once upon a time.
Did you reenact the language?
I actually studied German for 6 years, so here it goes. Bundeswehr MP2A1 Maschinenpistole.
That is Germany for Uzi.
Yes.
So let's open it up. I'm very excited. I'm gonna try and open it up for the camera.
I like the box, it's pretty robust.
Yeah, very cool. We have the back.
With the Iron Cross of the Bundeswehr as well.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty controversial when the West German army was established.
Oh really?
Yeah. But they still have it on the tanks and whatnot. Okay, you have some instructions.
Yeah.
But I do hope it's assembled. I know you know your stuff, but...
Yeah, I think I'm gonna handle it. I have built an Uzi with real parts on my own, with Airsoft internals and such. I'm going to show it quickly later. But here we have a manual.
In German?
In German? No, it's in English. So yeah, interesting. Let's open it up. Here it is. And some extra magazines, always nice to have.
Have you as well?
Yeah, kind of. I think they are 300 grams or something. I saw in a video. I'm gonna take these out. Gonna take a close look on them.
Here goes her.
Shortly. Into the. Oh, it's very hefty. Thank you, Jim.
I get that.
Oh, there we go.
It's a very good size and very good weight. I have shot the real thing, and this feels much like it.
Yeah. Yes, pretty robust. Very heavy, but not too heavy. It's like pretty good.
Yeah, and it's a full steel receiver.
Oh, it is.
Very nice. Yeah. The only thing that's not steel, I think, is the bolt. It's aluminium, if I remember it right. That is to get it lighter, as this is a gas blowback. And if you have a lighter bolt, it's easier for airsoft and such. So I think that's a good thing. Yeah, here we have the stock.
Does it come with a wooden one as well?
It does not, but as far as I understand, here's a real one.
Oh, okay.
It should be drop-in fit, and I'm gonna try it shortly. I think he's gonna disassemble it some and try which part that fits, because I also have,
There it is.
my Uzi that I made from mostly real parts and KWC internals. It shoots, it's fun, but it's not perfect. It falls apart after each game.
Oh.
So I will take all the real parts from this and install it on this. As I think this is a more well-crafted gun. Let's take a look on the magazines. Here we have the package. It reads 6-second green gas charge, 7 to 8 seconds 138 gas charge, Airsoft precision BB pellets only.
So I
And
can't
this
use...
is gas. There's also a box for CO2.
Oh, okay.
So maybe CO2 mags in the future, who knows? And this is marked as 32 round magazines, just like the real thing. That's something I appreciate for the realism. But they also have a box for 25 rounds magazine. Those are not released yet.
That's the shorter one.
Yeah,
Duh.
but hopefully they will be released in the future. So here we have the magazine. Comes in some plastic wrapping and ooh, free candy. You want some?
Yeah, yes please.
Very tasty.
Ah, no, do not eat.
Ah.
Yeah.
So here we have the magazine.
I really like the finish.
Yeah, it looks a lot like the real one. I have a few real mags with me. And as you can see here also, there are different shades of gray. And that's due to production's year. The parkerization shifted some, but also when you oil them and such over time, they will get a darker finish. But I think this is pretty close.
I like the
Yeah.
details
Details
as well.
Yeah, 10, 20, 32, just like the real thing.
Okay.
Yeah, looks great.
And here we have the switch. You can press it back and it won't stop, and press it forward and it will dry fire as it is now. It's pretty stiff, so you might need a screwdriver to press it hard so you won't break your nails. Something I really like about these magazines is that it does not have a open spot here, unlike other Airsoft magazines. Here on the KWC, for example, you have an open spot here so you can see the BBs. I really hate that, because if you have a realistic gun, you don't want to see the BBs. So I really like that it is closed, like the real thing. And this one holds 32 BBs, just like the real thing, so also a bonus, as I like realism. And this suits great for CQB. As I often play on CQB places that have real cap and so on, so yeah.
Let's test it in the gun.
Slides in pretty good.
Yeah, that's something I really like with this, with my old build. It's a 25 round magazine. What you want is that classic Arnold Schwarzenegger look from Tech Noir. And the you want the long magazine?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you want. I can't impersonate Arnold that good.
Yeah, looks great. And here we have the German markings, and it's D for die, E for exterminate, and S for safe, obviously. Or what do you think?
I think I have to look at our little sheath paper.
We don't have sheets.
Yes, here we go. D stands for Dauerfeuer, means sustained fire. E, Einzelfeuer,
And
single
S,
fire.
Scheisse.
No, sicher, secure. You had one.
Yeah,
You had one correct.
I know German
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, you got both markings here of the IDF and of the Bundeswehr.
Yeah, I think this is because they produced the Uzi in Israel and then
okay.
sent it to Germany.
To Germany
if I
for
understood
export.
it right.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Although not as common as other SMGs, the Uzi did see some action during the Vietnam War. Roughly 3,000 were bought by the CIA and mainly used by elite units such as MACV SOG. After the war, the CIA and the Secret Service also used the Uzi with shortened barrels.
minutes, but when the producer said I was going to be shooting the Uzi, I immediately recognized it as the gun the presidential Secret Service men carry under their coats.
The Uzi was introduced to Israeli armed forces in the mid-1950s, and it saw extensive service with tank crews, elite forces, junior officers and NCOs. This iconic submachine gun saw use right up until the beginning of the 21st century, when it was finally retired from active use in the Israeli armed forces. Having established close ties with Israel during the later stages of the Cold War, South Africa also used the Uzi. In the field, South African mounted troopers like reconnaissance cavalry, as well as motorcycle-borne troopers, used it. And on South African soil, the police also used it, as well as the special police in Angola and Namibia. The Uzi submachine gun also made its way to the Balkans during the wars there in the early to mid-90s. And it was especially seen in the hands of the Croatian Special Police, who actually used the German version of this infamous submachine gun, now available from Northeast Airsoft.
Feels great. One thing I've seen other airsofters do that haven't shot the real thing.
Like us?
Like us. When you pull the charging handle back, but not all the way back like so, it jams, and I think this is an issue. This is actually a feature that I'm happy Northeast Airsoft actually built, as the real thing is the same one. It's so that you don't get an accidental discharge if you maybe move around in the bush or something and do it like this. It could accidentally shoot, so this is a safety. So you have to firmly push it all the way back when you rack it.
In order to...
Just like the real thing, don't be afraid, you won't break it.
Don't be afraid, man!
This is built in steel, so it can handle it. I'm very happy for that.
So, to quickly explain why this safety feature is a good thing even on the Airsoft one. Here you can see it has some small teeth that it will connect to. If you don't have that and you accidentally pull the bolt back, this is what will happen. Like, this is not full way, and if I let it go and we wouldn't have the teeth, it would accidentally shoot, like on the real one and on the Airsoft one. So this is a good and realistic feature.
Also, another feature is that you have to press the grip safety in order to rack it. If I don't press it, I can't. So I have to press it in. And this is a feature for the German one. So on the Israeli one, this is not a feature. So this is a very cool thing that they also put on this model.
Yeah, that's a nice detail.
Yeah, very cool.
It's not just like cosmetic details like, you know, the safety and stuff, but also like internal.
Yeah,
or like the German ones have.
Very cool. And another thing I've seen people complain about is the stock. You have some wiggle room on it, but if you take a look on the real one, there's no wiggle room. No, I'm just kidding. There's a wiggle room on the real one as well. You can see here it jumps up and down. And I think that is by design. If you're on, it's from Israeli from the start, and it's a lot of sand and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's because of that. You have some extra space, so it won't jam when you need it. But that's also why I think some people use the wooden stock instead. Less parts that move around. You get a more firmly grip when you aim and such. But
that was actually often used by NCOs and junior officers. You often see them with the
junior officers, like children.
Yes, that's correct. No, but you do often see them because I can imagine they didn't have to like move around in tanks or APCs that much.
Yeah,
so
in the Israel.
Yeah, in the Israeli army. So
Yeah.
I think they prefer the stock.
Yeah, very cool. There's also like a sea of versions of the wooden stock. Some is like straight and some is curvature. I think this is like version 5 or something, I'm not sure. I got this off SIB on their sale for like 20 euros or something, just to show in the video. And we're going to take a close look on that shortly. Also another thing, the externals are full steel, but the grip safety, it is plastic also again. If we look on the real one, it's also plastic, as well as the selector itself. Some think it's stiff, but this is also very good, as it's just like the real one. You want a stiff safety, not a loose one, like on the cheap Airsoft ones. If we take a look here, it's also very stiff. You really have to be firm with it. Another thing I really like about this.
All right, let's strip.
Let's strip. Yeah, let's do a quick field strip and check it out. Here we have the top cover. One thing I want to say about the top cover, some had issues with the dead man's click. That is often because of the top cover has some space left, and this is a common thing on the real Uzis as well. Many Uzis have their own top cover for their own gun. If you swap them around, you can have this problem. But just take a rubber hammer, bam, a mallet, and slap it here, and it should fix it. Once again, it can take some beating, and that's a good fix. And some have also complained it's so stiff to take off the top cover. It's brand new. This will wear in over time. The real ones was just like it when they were brand new. This in so it's more easy.
I like the design. It's pretty like straightforward.
Yeah, very simple. Here we have the bolt, and as you can see, there's been some lightning cuts into it, and that's to have a more efficient bolt. As this is a toy gun after all. Very smart design. Here we have the bolt carrier. Very nicely machined. So this is aluminium, and here we have some steel inserts. That is for the trigger sear to reach in, so it will survive much longer. The KWC, for example, does not have this feature. So very clever design, Northeast Airsoft. I'm impressed. Here we have the recoil spring and buffer. This is a spacer, so you get a more snappy response when the bolt is traveling back and forth. And with this, I think you have 800 to 900 rounds per minute with it, but the real one shoots about 600 to 650 rounds per minute. So if you remove this, you will have a more realistic fire rate. And I've also heard if you remove this, you can use a real top cover as it reaches in differently.
Okay, so here's dry fire with the dual spacers as it comes with standard. It's much more snappier in the rate of fire and higher. And with only the yellow small spacer. Much more realistic fire rate, much more like the real thing, and I would guess it's around 650 rounds per minute. And with this spacer you can also use a real top cover. Here we have the recoil spring and buffers. As you can see, I have removed the bigger buffer. This was very easy to remove. Here we have a C-clip. Just remove it and make sure you save these two bushings. And then you can remove it. It's some sort of rubber.
And here we have the barrel. And here is the hop-up chamber and a wheel. So to adjust the hop-up, you take off the top cover and you can turn the wheel. Or you can press this here and you can loosen the barrel nut. Now we can remove the barrel. So once again, this field strips just like the real one. It's extremely realistic, so very impressed. The barrel itself looks like it's built in aluminium here and steel on the outer barrel. And if we take a look inside, also looks very similar to the real thing. On semi-auto and full auto. Very, very nicely built. Let's take a look on the lower. We have a push pin. It's kind of stiff now when it's brand new. If you break it in a few times, it will be a lot easier. Not that you will need to do this in the field. So yeah, here we have the lower. Looks a lot similar to the real one. Once again, very nicely built. I'm actually gonna take apart my real lower. As you can see here, I have taped down my safety grip. That is a feature many operators do, as sometimes when you're going to take your shot, you don't push it fully in and you miss your shot. So many people tape this in, but the reason why I taped mine in is because at our recent meet with Magnus, I lent it out to our friends, and they were very excited to see the Uzi. So they fiddled around with it so much that the thumb safety broke. But I knew it was about to break, because I had to cut the reel safety in order to get this to work with Airsoft. So it's no big deal. I've already ordered a new one and it has arrived, so I'm going to update it later. But here we have the reel lower. This is an Israeli one with Israeli markings. And if we take a look, it's a lot similar. The only thing that differs is that I use the KWC sear, because the real one in steel chewed up my magnesium bolt. But Northeast Airsoft seem to use the steel sear, more like the real one, as we have the steel inserts here. So very clever design.
As you can see on the real one here, I've cut away some material, just like the Northeast Airsoft. And this was to fit the KWC Airsoft internals.
Something I've been curious about is if the Northeast Airsoft magazine fits the real lower, and it does not. And that is because their magazines is about 1 millimeter too wide. As my main passion is to add as much reel parts as possible, even though you don't have to on this beautiful model. I'm still going to try it and see if I can find a solution on it later. But not in this video, we're just gonna do first impressions and check it out. But I'm curious to see if real mags fits in the Northeast Airsoft. Yeah, but as you can see, it's some wiggle room, so it will release it. That's still very interesting. And in here we have another sear. This is the updated version. The first version had some issues, but now Northeast Airsoft has made a new one, an updated version. And if you bought the early one of their production, just reach out to Northeast Airsoft and they will send you one for free. And I think that is very generous of them. They really take passion about their products and their customers. So big up for Northeast Airsoft. Okay, so are we going to try some real parts on it and see which parts fits?
Sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, I see you've been eyeing this wooden stock.
I have.
Yeah.
Woodstock 99. Can I have a Coke, please?
Of course.
Coke me!
Here we go, boys.
Can I have a... Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Not sponsored by Coca-Cola.
So, wooden stock.
Yes, I'm very curious to see if it fits. Old
And this is actually fine cedar tree from the Zion wetland one. Just kidding.
Fine cedar tree.
I actually, if I have to make a wild guess, I'd say that it's either
Nicht.
maybe
Paper mache and
yeah,
glue.
yes, paper mache and glue.
My guess is that it is wood.
Yeah, but I think it is like some cherry
I went
tree
with
wood. I don't know why, but I think so.
And yeah, just to remove the stock, here's a hex screw or Allen screw. Kim, you're good at English.
Yeah, Alan.
Yeah, and here on the back we have this that hooks on. Very easy to remove, even though I have it in small bits now. You can do this without disassembling as much as I just did. So yeah, time to try the wooden stock.
Moment of truth. Maybe it's too narrow.
There you go, buddy.
Could you hammer on the top here? You broke it, Jim.
Look at what you did! We can't continue this video!
Not again.
I have no idea why this is not working. Okay, another solution. I will remove the wooden stock.
It's rolling.
Like Limp Bizkit.
So yeah, this is too wide and this is too narrow. It might be due to the versions. There's many versions and countries that made this. But it looks like it's like 0.5 millimeter, so I'm just going to take that off quickly. Don't judge me of my tool bench. I just moved to a new apartment, so this full of crap everywhere. Even though this studio looks tidy from that angle. On the apartment, I don't have tid to städa upp. It's not my job to städa här.
Rita, can you come down with me?
And in this workshop, we always think of the safety first.
Yes.
Always.
And it fits. And I love how I said in the beginning, this time I'm just going to try to drop in fit parts, and here I am, like. But yeah, it was very quickly. You can do this with a file by hand. It was like 0.5 millimeter or something, very easy. So it depends which kind of wood stock you have, as there are so many versions. It clicks.
Yeah, 69, 99.
Safety first.
So, it kind of fits.
Yeah, so now when I remove the 0.5 millimeter on each side or something, it fits. Yeah, great success. But I think this also depends on which wooden stock you have. There's so many manufacturers and versions of it.
Yeah. Over 90 countries used the Uzi.
So now let's take a look on the real skeleton stock and see if that also fits. I'm pretty excited about that.
So is it easy to remove, or do you need a angle grinder to remove?
Angel grinder. No, the real stock is as easy to remove as on the Northeast Airsoft one.
Okay.
So let's try if the real folding stock also fits the Northeast Airsoft Uzi. So here's the real stock. It's extremely similar. And here we have the stock side by side. This is the real stock. This is the Northeast Airsoft stock. As you can see, they are the same, even the same amount of spot welds, 3, and here we can see 3 as well. Same here, 3 spot welds, 3 spot welds. Very, very nicely replicated. Very impressed with the build quality. This is absolutely nothing we have to do. They have replicated this amazingly, just like the real deal. But for me, I like history. So now I'm inserting a little plug for the real stock. That goes up here. Yes.
Alright.
There it is. So now we're going to press the real stock on. It fits very smoothly. Super easy
No
to
need
install.
for welding or filing.
Nothing. That's what I like with Northeast Airsoft, that they make all their things so close to the real specs that it's easy to install real parts. It was the same thing with their stem, for example. Very well built. So yeah, there it is. Locks onto nicely. Very cool. Alright, so what more should we test? I have the real barrel nut. Yeah, fits without any issues. So yeah, very impressive that they can fit so many real parts this far. This is not common for airsoft guns in general. So let's see if the real handguards fits as well. Oh, here in the bottom we have a unique serial number. Always nice.
Ah.
Drop-in fit once again. I am so happy with this so far. Oh, it's always nice to easily add real parts. Sometimes it's a hell to install the easiest ones. Yeah, very fun, very fun. Are we going to try the grips as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm going to put you to work. If you release the Northeast
God.
Airsoft ones. Do you
I've
know
been
how to
working
use a
up there.
screwdriver?
Yeah, but this one is too narrow. It is. I shit you not.
I knew that. This is the best
I shit
screwdriver.
you not. No, it's...
I'm going to remove this broken safety from the real lower, but I'm curious to see if it fits. It kind of do. It's something in the way, I'm not sure. It's probably a different FCG. I know.
What the fuck did I just do?
He
broke it! Oh my god!
It's no problem. I know Northeast Airsoft told me they made the lower slightly different, so you cannot convert this to a real gun. But this is something I'm going to put my head into deeper later on. That sounded weird, but it's something I'm going to look into and probably do a separate video or something in the future because yeah, real lowers are cool, but for now let's test the real grips.
Yes, sir.
And now let's put the real grip on. The other half. The thumb grip is somehow too wide. Yeah.
So here we have the real grip and the Airsoft grip. And here we have the Airsoft safety. Here you can see these small tabs. On the Airsoft one, they go here. But on the real one, we don't have that space. It's an easy mod, but I'm just going to focus on the drop-in fit part. So I'll put this aside for now and do a follow-up video on this later.
And we're going to have the real top cover.
Here's the Northeast Airsoft top cover, and here's the real one. Once again, same style of build, but if we take a look on the inside, still similar. But here we can see the differences. Here's the spring on the Northeast Airsoft, and here's the real one. This hole is a mod from my old build, so don't think about that. Let's check it out if the real one works.
And we have removed the bigger buffer. Very nice, yeah.
Uzi does it.
Uzi does it. Now we're just shooting air. You have to press the safety.
Why am I looking down the iron sight? Pretty nice.
Yeah, very cool.
So if you have the full buffers as it comes with standard and don't remove the extra big one and use a real top cover, this is what will happen. You can't push further back than this and it will ultimately get stuck, so you can't shoot or anything. So you'll have to pop open the top cover again.
So, break it down for us. We've got the stock, we've got the handguard, right?
Real stock, real top cover, real handguard, real barrel knot. So a lot of real parts that fits drop in from the start, which is very cool. We're going to take a closer look on the grips on a later video. I'm sure it looks like very easy mods. So now we're going to take some test shots. We don't have a big firing range, we're just going to do it close range, but I'm still very excited to see how it handles and shoots.
Okay, so let's load up the mag. First we take green gas in this hole for about 6 to 7 seconds. And then we load up the BBs. Here is about 32 rounds. And you take the speed loader just on top like this and put your thumb over. So it was quite easy to load without an adapter. Okay, so here we have our target for the day. As I'm dressed up in my heist outfit, it feels suiting to have a DAA agent as a target. But he has a shield, so we're going to try and shoot that shield. Yeah, that's 32 rounds. Okay, so let's try some full auto. Yeah, 32 rounds. We have one magazine left, so let's try it one-handed, like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando. Yeah, it's very fun to shoot. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Today we just scratched the surface on this gun. You can do a lot more in-depth view on the internal parts, and I highly recommend to check out Eplosive Airsoft channels on his video on this gun. or Negative Airsoft. They both do tips and tricks on how to improve accuracy and such. You can always tinker more with the airsoft gun. This is no exception. Externally, this is extremely well built, super realistic, parkerized finish, just like the real thing. Sure, it had some issues, but Northeast Airsoft is trying their best to fix it. It's a small company that broke away from a big company to make the guns we always wanted and dreamt for. So I really think we should support this project and the updates they do. They ship it out to you who bought the early ones and such. So yeah, I'm very happy with this company. I'm very happy with this gun so far, and I'm really looking forward to try it in field. I have a 1-Yule nozzle for this, and you can order the 1-Yule nozzle from Northeast Airsoft or via your airsoft retailer, for example. So it can shoot on the CQB ranges and such. I want to thank you, Magnus, for coming today.
Thanks for having me over. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, I want to thank Northeast Airsoft for making such a cool gun. It's been a dream for me for a very long time, and finally it's here. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I surely did. Don't forget to subscribe on Real Fake Guns on YouTube, Facebook and Instagram. And if you are feeling generous, check out the Patreon page so we can continue making videos like this, and also you can download some 3D printable files I have out there. See you next time!
Cool.
Northeast Airsoft.
Oh yeah, baby.